Hello everyone, my name is Draconicrose and welcome to a brand new short series on a game called Seeds of Resilience. I want to start by thanking the developer for sending me a key. I did not ask for this game, in fact it wasn't even really on my radar, but I've played it and I have enjoyed a lot of it. It is a survival slash city building type of game, but it's a very slow one, which is why I've already played a bit to familiarize myself with what the game is and has to offer. So today, June 13th, the game releases from its early access phase, which is why I'm starting right now. It has had a new update with 5 more missions for the 1.1 release, and even though I've already played a bit, we are going to start over because there's a lot to explain in this game. So let's get started with our first island. Oh, we actually get to see characters now. Like when I played, it was before this 1.0 release, you didn't see people sailing in on the little ship. So we get a very tiny island. I'm not sure if the tutorial islands are procedurally generated, but islands usually are. And in this case, you have to harvest blackberries. So you don't see people, but you do use them. You can see up here that I have selected Davram, which is my only villager. Time doesn't go on automatically, it's turn-based. And these are our turns. We are currently in summer and we have to stock up for winter because the environment does change with what we do in it. Alright, in this case let's just grab the blackberries. As the objectives say, we now have enough food for our only colonist and one more. So you have foods to satisfy, so in our case he needs 2 food units to be satisfied, but only 1 to prevent from starving. Alright, so you used every work hour of this character. Click on the button in the bottom right corner of your screen to end the turn. So you click here to end the turn, or use the E key, though they don't tell you that. I prefer using the E key most of the time. So at the end of the day you get a little summary. In our case he didn't lose any health. He gained 8 hours of work because he has 8 hours base. He gained 2 more for being well fed, but he lost 1 for sleeping outdoors while dressed warmly. Some villagers do not have the dressed warmly perk. So here we go, the well fed buff, that's 10 health and plus 2 work hours. If he'd lost health previously, he would have gotten some more. Alright, let's continue on with the second day. For the second day we have to craft a pronged spear to fish. Start by harvesting a bamboo rod. So let's go and harvest these young bamboo. You can see in the tooltip that it takes 1 hour, requires no skill, can be done by hand, and gives us 1 bamboo. And you can also right click to see what we have here. It will grow into a giant bamboo, which you need an axe for, but it requires 9 turns. So we'll just harvest it. And we'll also need string, which in this case we're going to get by recycling the raft. And now we get to craft it, opening the crafting panel. These icons, at least these ones, are a little confusing to me. So that's food, that's vegetables or agriculture, and this is tools. We also have wood, and I think this is supposed to be a handsaw with a piece of wood. Stone, I suppose these are bricks and something to measure corners and a chisel. And metal, I have no idea what's going on in this icon. Okay, these 3 are confusing to me, but there we go. Tools, we get to make a spear. It requires 3 hours to make. It requires the character to have survival skill but no ranks in it. So if I right click on Davram, I can bring up his info panel where I can see lots of things. including if he has a house. But there you go. Survival skill. He has no skill in it, but he can, of course, do it. And here are his traits: natural born fisher, dressed warmly, and has minus 25 less health points than other characters. That's fine. So let's craft. There's really not much that actually removes health points from them. It's mostly just starving and being utterly cold. Now we equip the spear, just click there and it will show us any tools that we have on the map. So now we get to fish. The fish, we just click on them. Requires 2 hours, and the spear. Now we get 1 fish in store, and we need 3. Oh, he still has 1 hour of action. 1 hour of action is not enough to fish another fish, but it is more than enough to grab a bit more blackberries. So let us continue on with the days. Day 3, again, same stuff, that's okay. We need 2 more fish. And we finish the tutorial and unlock a new character, Thalia, who has 1 perk in fishing and a few traits. She builds twice as fast. She levels up woodworking faster. She is agile, which means she can keep a tool in good condition, 50-50 chance. This is pretty valuable. Tools are a bit of a pain in this game. And insomniac, which is bad, she gets 2 less work hours every night. So she basically counteracts her well-fed bonus. Afterwards, we did first step, so let's do Fragile Shelter, which is another tutorial island. This time we get 2 little colonists, and it teaches us to move. And one mechanic of this game, sometimes things are hidden, so we use control to check them. In this case we want that crate. Alright, so we need to gather up enough food, and that's going to be mostly blackberries. I am using Devrim, right? Yeah. Alright, so that was enough to feed both characters. However, I do want string. And this only requires 1 hour, that requires 1 hour, so we can easily do that. We won't have enough to craft the spear already, but we can certainly go ahead and grab something else. This young fir tree has fir tree? Yeah, fir tree? I always, you know, for my Equinox series, I always mess up this word. It gives us fir branches, and every type of tree has its own branches. They will be useful when we need to build a shelter, which I know is coming up, so I'm just going to start gathering it for now. There we go. That wasn't even that bad. So we're going to use them to do that. I'm actually going to use some of her time to craft a spear. Or, well, she is not the one I want fishing, but she was the one I'd probably want. Excuse me, she was the one I probably wanted to open the crate and recycle the raft with, because she has the not you. Yeah. She has the collector trait and lucky. Twice faster on recycling action, so recycling takes less of her work time. And lucky, she can get twice the drops. And she's also good at survival right now, maybe because she made a spear? I don't know. Anyway, we need the fir branches. There you go. And now 2 broom branches, which just requires that. And we're going to have to sleep. And then we can build the 2-person shelter. I can already put down the blueprint. The only space we have available is pretty much here, though. Yeah, I'll put it down there. They've also changed how the blueprints show up, which is nice. It's easier to see. Alright, so medium shelter. What requires next is that people spend work hours building it. In our case, we have none available, so we're going to move on. Alright, see, she lost 10 health points because she slept outdoors, she wasn't dressed warmly. That's what happens. Before we get to use that spear though, we are going to exhaust these blackberries. They take 1 hour to harvest, and unlike the fish, they can disappear. So we'll take that. That crate has been fully harvested. Which means you just get the crate. The crates themselves can be used for construction further down the line. So we have more than enough food. The rest of their time can be used to build. And we're just going to make sure that gets fully built. And then we can either drag their icons in or just click and do that. There we go. So we have our villagers in the shelter with plenty of food, and now they just need to survive, which in this scenario is really not much. Let's just end and keep going. Day 3 and day 4, and there we go. You got a windstorm that completely blew away our little shelter. And that's why you want better shelters. But anyway, we can either just make another one if we can get more young fir trees, which doesn't look like we can, to be honest. They don't give us enough. So all we have to do is really just grab enough food. This big fish requires something else. I have never been able to fish them. That's okay. So that's enough food for the 2 of them. And we have thus survived till day 5. Victory! Not that was particularly difficult. We unlocked Svarog, or in this case we've already unlocked him, who is a good farmer. He's also lucky. Levels up survival skill faster, and social, gets 1 more work hour each night when sleeping with other villagers. We also have antisocial characters who don't like to sleep with anyone, and they're good for the 1-person stuff. Alright, and since that windstorm did a number on us, this is what we are going to get. Now, harvest flags. Well, first I'm going to use Amelia to harvest that and see if I can find any crates on the place. Now we are just one tiny little thing over here. So she skills level up twice faster, and she's also dressed warmly. Why did it? Ah, there we go. The Devran, Natural Born Fisher, of course. Alright, so I probably want to grab them with Amelia as well, because I think they help with farming? I'm not entirely sure. Let's see if I can craft the rudimentary axe with her. I need a pebble, and I already have the oak branches, so just 1 pebble. I will use someone else to grab that. And here we go. We have an axe. We need to equip it, and that will be this one. And now we have to chop down some trees. Fair enough. In this case, I think, well, we either want the fir trees or the giant bamboo. Well, we're gonna need both anyway, so let's do that giant bamboo first. And then there might be some other small trees. Not in this case. Sometimes trees are small enough that they don't take the full 3 hours. But in this case they did, so I'm just going to chop another giant bamboo with it. Now with this guy, I'm going to craft him a fishing spear, as per usual because there are a few blackberries, but not that many. So let's go ahead and grab those first, and then we will do fishing later. At least we have the spear done. Oh, I needed more food. That's fine. You could work more if you had a home to sleep in. So every day, at the end of the day, you get a bit of tidbits and hints of what you should be doing. This still wants us to chop down some trees, but I need to make sure we have enough food first. So again, with control to see the blackberries that may be hidden. I can see there's one there. There we go. Okay, so he's out of energy, that's fine. And we can start chopping these fear trees. Or, well, something. We need to chop 4 of them. Well, let's use this character as well. Even if another character has a tool equipped, you can just change it to another character. It'll be fine. So that's 3 trees. And let's grab some more food. There we go. We're out of energy, so let's move on. Pickaxe could help a lot with those rocks. There's not really rocks here unless we dig down, but there's these, and these also require the stumps. And they give us stone cutting or stonework skill for some reason. I don't know. This one, oh, because of autodidact, okay. I was wondering why I was using her to cut the trees. Yes, there we go. Train one of your characters for a survival skill until it reaches 2 stars. You can achieve this by crafting strings and tools. So she already has 1 star, so we probably want to use her. So let's see what we can craft. Food, vegetable, there we go. We can craft string from fiber, and I don't think fiber can be used for much else, so we might as well craft a good bit of string as much as we can. And now we have access to new buildings. Build a wattle shack. You're going to need cattails. Oh, cattails pretty easy. We just grab them right off the place. Also going to need a bit more food, but I can use other characters for that. Again, with the control not working that well. There we go, cattail. That's a blackberry. Do we have any more cattails on the beach? Yes, we do. Here's some more, and there is some there that I can't grab now. But I can grab it with this guy. So that's fine. Didn't I grab these? No, I didn't know. I think that is all of them. Yeah, that seems to be all of them. So again, a few more blackberries for our food supply. And I want to clear out this little area, so here we go. Just grab all of these. I think the wattle shack, well, it's not that big, but well, it's certainly something. And some pebbles. And here we go. Alright, so let's put down the wattle shack if we can. We're missing something. Okay, we need more fear branches. That's fine, we can certainly get that by grabbing some of these young trees. So let's put that down. I actually need to clear as much space as I thought. Okay, so this... I think I want to put it... you can press R to rotate, by the way. How does that not destroy that flex? Huh, odd. Okay, we'll put it there and we will wait for the next day to work on it. And in in this case we're just going to use Ewina's work hours to build most of it, and well, I suppose Amelia's work hours are also good for it. And we still have 3 hours left, so we're going to use Davron's, and that was the end of the mission. And we unlocked Naraya, who has stone cutting level 1, and she is noisy. Everyone sleeping with them get 2 less work hours the next day, and an insomniac, so she gets 2 less work hours the next day, but she's a natural born blacksmith and craftsman, so she is a good candidate for having her own sleeping spot. But with those 3 missions, that will be it for today, because this next mission is a little bit longer and will thus be left for episode number 2. But until then, don't forget to subscribe if you'd like to see more of Seeds of Resilience, and like the video if you liked it, and until next time, remember, here there be dragons.
Thank you so much to my patrons for making this channel possible. Click the Patreon logo to become one of these fine folk, and if you enjoyed the video, here are some more YouTube things you would like. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Have a lovely day, and I'll see you next time.